Hey everyone, so today I'll be making a video about how to create skills in VLM Run. So skills have become an increasingly hot topic in the AI community. Rather than rewriting chat prompts every single time to the agent to get it to do something, we can consolidate that information into a context which we call a skill. And that skill guides the agent in knowing what to do. So today I'll be walking us through an invoice example. So here's an example invoice. You have the recipient, the items, the total. And one of the challenges with processing invoices is that they can tend to look slightly different depending on who's generating the invoice. So here's one example of an invoice, and here's another example of an invoice. It just looks slightly different. So we can use skills to guide the agent in knowing what to process, and especially if we want to specify what we want it to output. So before I create a skill, I'm going to show what our visual agent Orion can already do. Just via chat, you upload the invoice, ask it to extract the invoice as JSON, and it does what you would expect. Now, what we can do in the chat interface is we can click Create Skill. And given our chat history, it's going to create a skill in our Orion skill format. So here we have a brief summary, the capabilities, the workflow, and the output. I can click Edit, and I can see the skill. So we define a skill as 3 files. First, we have our skill.md, which is a markdown file description of the skill. Second, we have the schema.json, which defines the expected JSON output of the skill. And third, we have the VLM Run.yaml file, which contains the tools that the skill will use, as well as other metadata about the skill. So I've shown you what the skill looks like. Now let's rerun the same invoice processing task with the skill. So I am going to create a new chat. And you see also that the skill is already loaded here. I'm going to upload this invoice. And even without providing a chat, I'm just going to run it using only the skill. OK, so we got our results from processing the invoice with the skill. And we see the same JSON output, just now using the skill. Now, one thing that I noticed about processing this invoice is that it's missing the company name. So here, you have the company on top. And what I noticed about creating our first skill is that it didn't include that company name. So what I want to do is I want to edit this skill. So let's just add extract company name located at the top of the invoice. I'm going to add that as natural language. And I'm also going to add that in the expected JSON output, company name of company located at the top of the invoice. And notice also for each of these fields of the JSON that we can turn on required or not. So I'm going to click Save. So now we have the skill saved. Now what we'll do is we'll create another chat thread with the new invoice and the newly updated skill. OK, so we finished processing this invoice using the newly updated skill. And notice that it does include the company name now. Since we've added that as an edited field, now it shows up. So you can imagine why this is very helpful as we consistently iterate and update these skills to get the functionality that we want. So in summary, first I showed how to just use the chat to do invoice processing. Second, I showed how to create a skill. Third, I showed how to update the skill. And fourth, I showed how to use the updated skill to extract the information that we want. Again, so that we can iterate and improve upon these skills to get what we want from these visual agents. So I hope that was helpful. And next video, we're going to talk more about how to use these skills.